This is Caffeine and Coils, and I'm Deanna.
And I'm Jenny.
And we have a special guest with us. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, thank you, ladies. I'm Heidi Bauer, and I'm the Business Development Manager of iFLO Pro.
Awesome. Thanks for being with us today.
Thank you for having me. I'm super excited.
Yes,
We are too. So can you give us a quick introduction about iFLO and the mission behind the brand?
Absolutely. So iFLO Pro is an automated smart device, and what we're addressing really are drain lines. And that bacteria that causes those clogs, AC shutoffs, drain pan overflows, it's actually called Zuglia. That is the true word. It's not a made-up word. I swear. It's a biological name for that bacteria that builds up. And really the mission behind the brand is just to kind of solve contractors' biggest pain points and add value to their overall business in many different ways. So
Nice.
What sets iFLO apart from other similar products in the industry?
Oh gosh, there's so much that sets our product apart, I would say. I mean, of course, there's other products on the market right now that kind of try to address the exact same thing that we do. They're going directly into a drain line. iFLO Pro is different. Aside from the technology of the device itself, I would say the formula. We are all about creating a very safe and non-corrosive formula that goes directly into a system. The industry, I think, as a whole has always been telling contractors, homeowners, pour bleach down their drain lines or vinegar. And although those chemicals might seem a bit effective, they're not very safe for the environment, of course, humans or the internal components of a system. So our formula is enzyme-based, it's non-toxic, and it's non-corrosive. So I think that's probably my favorite piece.
Yeah, I love the sound of that. As someone with pets and children in my home,
Yeah, I do.
definitely, yeah.
I worry about the animals even
Of course.
outside,
Yeah.
affecting their environment.
Absolutely. I always get asked if it's draining on the outside of a home and a dog wants to drink out of the drain line on a hot summer day, the dog will be totally fine. It's
Yeah.
enzyme-based. So
That's good.
it's super effective, though, which is great, but it's just a whole bunch of living probiotics.
So can you tell us more about how you got started with iFLO and what your role is in the company?
Absolutely. So I've known the owner and inventor of our product for quite some time, Joe McDonald, and he's a brilliant man. A couple years ago, he told me about this new invention he was creating, and he was like, why don't you come on over? And I was like, awesome, I'd love to work for you. And then he told me it was an AC, and it would be an AC product. And I had no exposure to the industry. I didn't know what I didn't know. So I was like, I don't know if AC's for me, but I just took the leap. I did it because I really respect him, and I knew I would learn from him. And about 2 years ago, I really signed on, and I came on, and I've loved it ever since. I love this industry. I tell everybody it's such a good, evolving industry. There's so much opportunity for growth. And in my role specifically with iFLO Pro, it's business development. So I just meet with contractors, and I've met with the OEMs, all different sizes, and kind of help them find ways to add value to their business and really address their biggest pain points.
I always tell people when they're starting in this industry, it's really not the most glamorous industry, but it is the best. Like, I feel like the industry is full of the best people, some of the best people I've ever met. And so I'm so happy to be here, and I share in that sentiment with you.
Yes, me too. And I think that everyone always thinks it's a very male-dominated industry, which it can be, of course, but the women in here that I've met through all my different meetings and places of travel, it's been amazing. It's not that glamorous, but it is fun, and everyone here is super hardworking. You hear the stories about a technician that started at 15 years old and then went to be a service manager and then own the company and sell it and then start a new one. So it's inspiring. I love the people.
Yeah, there's a lot of opportunity in the
For
industry.
sure.
That's one really great thing about it. We're both kind of newish to the industry as well, so
Me too. We all share that then.
yeah. Can you walk us through the technology behind iFLO's products and how they improve system performance?
Absolutely. So aside from the formula, our technology is amazing. Really, we're an AI-powered smart device. So I think we're in the world of AI-driven products. And I know there's so many other things on the market like that add a lot of value, but our device itself, what it's doing is it uses geolocation and it creates customized dispense schedules of our fluid directly into a drain pan. So it's smart. It knows the higher the humidity, the higher the heat, the more it should dispense. Really where there's water, that's where that bacteria really thrives and grows. But my favorite part to the technology piece is actually our float switch monitoring capability. So we're app driven. We have a simple little black wire that wires into the existing line of floats, and essentially it converts mechanical float switches into smart ones. So should a float switch trip at any point at all for any reason, a contractor would get an immediate alert and notification, however they choose, either email or text. And it goes through the app. It comes within 1 minute, and it really helps them stay in front of devastating water damage claims. We've been working with insurance companies. They reported to us $13 billion in water damage claims from 2024 that they had to write off essentially, and it was all from HVAC leaks. So it's a big number. Companies across the country, I've heard crazy numbers. We all have a story of a bad water problem, so we help contractors stay in front of it.
So that sounds like that's the specific challenge that this product helps address, is just when that drain pan gets full regardless. So tell me more about why it's getting full and how the enzyme-based product helps break that down.
Yeah, of course. So what happens is the more efficient a system, the more water it produces, right? Especially in the summertime here in Georgia, let's just say. It's pumping gallons of water every day, so much. And through that, what happens is the way our system works, there's like air particulates that go through the system, and they mix with things of mass like pollen, pet dander, dust, and then bacteria, and all collects on the evaporator coils, and it falls into the drain pan. Inside a drain pan, it is cold, it's dark, and it's wet, and that bacteria starts to grow. It's Zuglia. There's 5 different strains of it, and it's very aggressive. It's a living organism, essentially. And it begins in the drain pan and then breeds out through the line. Our formula, what it does is once it's dispensed in, water actually acts as our catalyst. It wakes our enzyme up, and it puts us into immediate fight or flight mode. And that bacteria actually becomes our food source and fuel. So unlike other products like vinegar or pan tabs that just break up that slime and flush it out, we actually work to fully dissolve and digest through it. And that's how we really work. So the more we touch, the stronger we become. But these companies are fighting it so bad every single day because these new systems are made out of all aluminum coils. In around 2016, the OEM switched from a copper coil to an aluminum, and we lost all of our ability to create a very neutral pH level in that drain pan. So because of that, these systems are backing up within a month of being installed. And homeowners are blaming their contractors. They don't know what they don't know. They don't understand that it's very environmental, and it's just the way the systems are made. And the more efficient they are, the bigger of a problem they have.
It's so interesting because I know we've kind of been in the industry long enough to see that transition of the coils change in material, and it's just not really something that that would cross your mind.
Absolutely.
So it's definitely a problem that has to be addressed in some way.
It is.
Sure.
It's huge. And homeowners, like I said, they're blaming their contractors. They're writing a check for $20,000 to ABC Cooling, let's just call it. And that system's backing up a month later, and they're like, what the heck is happening? You guys just replaced my old system. I never had these problems.
And as someone who's had a ton of water in her drain pan and has literally been in the attic with a shop vac trying to drain it out.
We all have.
It is like the worst. That is like nothing is worse than it being 120 degrees in your attic and your drain pan's full and you have to fix it. So.
I always tell people in my role with how much I've traveled the past year, I live in South Florida. It is hot and humid all the time. I've always historically had to deal with AC shutoffs and drain pan overflows, things like that. But I have that float switch monitor cable on mine, and knowing just the peace of mind I have being in Texas for a month at a time, maybe knowing that if something happens that's critical with my system, I can just have someone go service it the minute it happens is so much better than being reactive. We've heard crazy stories, crazy numbers of what that water damage can do. So
and it's so quick. It doesn't take long
it's,
at all.
I know. And even if the float switches fail all the time, but let's say they don't and they do their job and they do shut that system off, you still probably have to wait a couple hours for a guy from ABC Cooling to come out and service it and get it going again. So we're giving these contractors a way to really stay proactive and action that critical alert however they choose. So yeah, it's a lot of value.
How easy is it for contractors to install and service iFLO products?
It's really easy. I say that, and I work for an AI-powered device, Wi-Fi connected. I don't even like reconnecting my own cell phone to my Wi-Fi network, so I get it. But the learning curve is super small. The app takes about 5 minutes for installation, and then putting the actual device on the system. However creative you want to get, that's up to the technician and the system itself. But I would say you're in and out in about 20 to 30 minutes for sure.
Oh, wow, that's really simple.
Yeah.
It is. It's awesome. Super simple. The app is super integrated. It doesn't really allow for mistakes. So
I love that it is able to address in real time, like what weather conditions are right there with this system. That's a really cool feature.
Yeah. So 24/7, 365, it's just updating in the local weather APIs, and it's looking at heat, humidity, average system run times, and that's how it's creating those customized dispense schedules. So
That's really
it's smart.
So what kind of training and support does iFLO offer technicians?
Really, whatever they need. We're huge on training and getting these guys not only technically really able to install our device, but we want to teach them the value of the product. No technician, no salesperson, no one likes to go out and sell Mrs. Smith something that they don't feel good about selling and they just want to make a quick buck on. So our training, we provide in-person training, virtual training. We have rep firms of coverage really across the United States at this point. So really whatever a company needs, we're there for. We're building out a very robust LMS, so online assets, things like that for technicians and teams to look at and do.
Can you tell our listeners where they can find all that information?
Yeah, so iflowpro.com, that's where you can find us. We have forms on there to fill out for more information. We have video assets, things like that.
Awesome.
Are there any specific regions or climates where iFLO products perform exceptionally well?
So I'm going to say anywhere there is an HVAC system that produces water, we perform well in. Developing this product, we really thought we would have been primarily in the Southeast where it's hot and humid, and we are. But if you look at our live device map, we're pretty much all over the country. We have a very strong presence in Texas, all throughout the Southeast, the Carolinas, Georgia. We have a lot of demand. And we're actually seeing a lot of people reaching out and looking for our product in places out all the way in the West and also through the Mid-Atlantic. Contractors there, everyone deals with drain line issues, but they really like the digital connection piece to our device. And yeah, so really anywhere where a system produces water.
Awesome.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Where can HVAC contractors go to learn more about how to purchase?
Yeah, so we really sell primarily through wholesale distribution, really exclusively through that. So Mingledorff's, for example, or their local supply house, things like that. But check us out on iflowpro.com. At least you can get some information and schedule out trainings and then go through your wholesale distribution to purchase.
Awesome.
Do you have any final words of advice for HVAC professionals looking to grow their business with innovative products like iFLO?
Yeah, so I think that we're really living in a AI-powered world, right? People are very progressive thinkers. And I know that sometimes, especially in this industry, you have the gentlemen who've been in it forever and they look at a product like ours and might roll their eyes and think it's a widget or they don't want to deal with anything connected. And I get it. But if they're not going to get on the train of looking at innovative products like iFLO Pro or what else is on the market, they're going to lose eventually. In this world, you know, we're, again, an AI-powered world. A lot of PE money going around and businesses are trying to really grow and scale. And I think in that pursuit of growing their business, they're looking at customer acquisition costs, and it's necessary for a business to look at those. And it's about $250 to $400 per lead on a national average for these companies that they're spending per lead to acquire that customer. And they're kind of losing out on that retention piece. They're not focusing so much on that customer retention piece. So having a device like ours that a homeowner will pay for to retain them, it's huge. It's a big swing for these guys out there. So looking at innovative products to add value, make us more efficient, and keep the homeowner happy, it's the way to go. So
yeah, we've talked a lot on the podcast about, you know, different things coming up and new technology and how people need to, whether you like technology or not, you really need to learn and get on board because it's just getting more and more progressive in that sense.
It is. And if you're a company, you're not offering these innovative products, the guy next door will.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
the homeowner's going to go for it. We want to live with that peace of mind. That digital connection is huge. So
yeah,
being innovative, being forward thinking, it's going to help a business grow. It's going to help a business scale, and it's good for everybody.
Completely agree. I think we're all getting more and more and more into the connected home and being in tune with whether it's for our smart thermostat or our smart garage door openers, our smart locks, all that stuff is starting to get more and more integrated. So this is just another piece to the puzzle to be able to keep an eye out for.
Absolutely. I mean, you have like smart refrigerators now.
Yeah.
Everything. It's kind of freaky, but it's good. It works well.
It's so convenient though. Like I'm all in on the automated home where I live. So.
Of course. And being able to have an app for a homeowner, so we can provide that. A contractor can either share the device with the homeowner or not, but they're able to see their bottle when it dispenses, how it's dispensing, if they get that critical alert, if their Wi-Fi goes out. They have all of that at their fingertips. So it's really awesome.
That is great. I was just going to ask that too, if the homeowner had access to the app as well.
Yep, they do. The contractor can either share the device or not. It depends however they see fit. But yes, if they do share the device, the homeowner will be able to pull up their app, see how their device is performing, what the weather's looking like, when their bottle is set to go empty.
So is it set up kind of where the contractor has like a dashboard where they can kind of take a look at this before they do, if they have like a PM contract or something along those lines, so they know, hey, I know I'm going to Mrs. Smith's house and she's got iFLO. Maybe I throw an extra couple bottles in the van before I leave just to be sure.
Absolutely. I'm so glad you brought that up. Yes. So we provide our pro partners a whole entire admin portal on the back end here. There's no subscription fee. There's no cost associated with them for that. But it's a way for them to monitor every single live device that's out in the field.
That's awesome.
So they're able to actually also keep up with bottle replacements. So our bottles all have a QR code on the back. And essentially what it does is upon installation, they have to scan that through the app and it will validate the bottle to the device. So through that, we're able to see how much fluid has left the bottle, how much fluid remains, and when it is set to go empty. On its last month of life, we have a 6-month supply as well as a 1 year. The homeowner will get an alert saying, hey, Mrs. Smith, your bottle's running low. Reach out to ABC Cooling at XYZ now to get a bottle replacement scheduled. And then the contractor will also have visibility to that. So they can stay in front of it. It's that touch point. Most contractors like that 6-month bottle because it stays in with their regular maintenance cadence. So yes, they're able to monitor that.
That's just like another way for them to add value to the PM contract. And I'm all about that. I love the sound of that. I think that's a very valuable tool for the contractor.
Absolutely. And on these PM contracts, a lot of them are going back for free, right? We're helping them with their callbacks that they have to go back for free on, especially when they're under contract with the homeowner. If they go out and every 6 months they're cleaning that drain line, these new systems are backing up within, we've seen as little as 14 days in some cases, I should say. And these guys are running their trucks back for free, especially if they're on a contract with that homeowner, just to do the right thing and save face, right? They don't want a bad review. One bad review, I think it takes 10 to 12 good ones to really outweigh it,
Yeah.
which is crazy. And we're living in a totally Google review driven world. I look up everyone before I go train them, anything. I look at their reviews. So being able to help them control the controllables, which is that biological stuff in that drain line, and help them from rolling a truck for free, it's a big thing.
Yeah, that's really great.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we have a fun little game for you guys to play that
Uh-oh.
I put together to end this episode. So they're going to be like structured like fast money questions.
Okay.
But there's like no wrong answers. So
good.
this ought to be fun and easy.
Uh-oh.
All right, so name a tool every HVAC technician carries.
A drill.
A wrench.
Okay, I would say yeah. I mean,
Okay.
I think yours is a little less common. My list doesn't have wrench on it, but like I said, no wrong answers.
Is there a drill on there?
Yeah, drill's
Oh my
on there.
God. Okay.
Multimeter, screwdriver, manifold, and then leak detector.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
a good
that's
one.
what I was going to say.
Okay, what's the most common reason an AC unit stops working?
Drain line clog.
Okay, that's on here.
Um,
Come on, pop quiz, you know this.
main reason?
Yeah.
The power went out.
Okay, yeah, electrical failure. That's on there. We'll count it. I was gonna say a dirty filter.
Oh, yeah.
I feel
filters.
like that's like here's your monthly reminder to change your filter.
Monthly. You know what is so funny? Our SVP, Randy, who I work with directly, he owned his own contracting business. He has his contract license. He still qualifies a company. He'll look at me sometimes and he'll be like, I have not changed my filter in so long. I'm like, it's always you guys. It's always the ones in the field that don't do it.
My husband makes me mad because when I go to change our filter, I'll be like, come in here and grab this dirty filter, like,
Yeah.
make him help me or whatever. And he's like, this doesn't even look dirty. And I'm like, it's not supposed to look dirty.
Exactly. It's doing its job.
I am like a weirdo. I have like the alert on from my thermostat to remind me once a month. I change mine once a month, and
Good
I know
for
like
you.
everyone's like, "That's a little excessive, don't you think?" And I'm like, "Absolutely not. I have 2 dogs inside.
Yeah.
Like, no
true.
way."
Good
I should
for
probably do
you.
it more, but I do it every 3 months.
I don't
don't do
know.
it
I'm
enough.
just. And we have like air purifiers and everything. I want like the best air I can breathe.
Then you need an iFLO Pro, I'll tell you. Get rid of that biological.
I need to put one on. All right, name a part of an HVAC system that needs regular maintenance.
Filter.
There you go. That was the number one
duh.
answer. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. You got an answer?
Drain lines?
Coils, drain lines. Drain line is on here, actually.
Yeah, okay,
so,
good.
yes. And then the coils, like cleaning the coils
Yep.
and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
What's a refrigerant used in modern HVAC systems?
Oh God, I don't want to butcher it.
R454B.
Okay, there you go.
And it was
That's like
410A.
the most modern.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we've got 410A, R32, 134A, and then honorable mention is R22. It's like phased out, but there's still some systems out there running it.
Goodness.
So, all right, name a brand of HVAC equipment.
Carrier.
Bryant.
There you go. The best
I was
two
looking right
answers.
next to you.
All right. Well, that's all that I have for today.
Yay.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I had
thank you.
fun. It was awesome.
Yeah, that was a great conversation. Thank you for coming.
Thank you
Yes.
so much.
Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe.